I've previously asked various viewers to give me questions that I will answer. Without further ado, I'm going to answer these questions. Travis Brown asks, "What porno did you steal this music from?" Well, there was no porno involved. In fact, I got this music from a website called freepd.com. It features various public domain music tracks. The song is called Groovin', and it's by Brian Boyko. Ultimate23 Dragon asks, "Who are your favorite drivers in every racing series you watch?" Well, some of my favorite IndyCar drivers are Ed Carpenter, Tony Kanaan, Helio Castroneves, Joseph Newgarden, Takuma Sato, Graham Rahal, J.R. Hildebrand, and several others. Well, not several others, but I don't hate any particular driver. There's some that I root for over others, but I just don't despise anybody. I mean, then in NASCAR, I like Ryan Newman, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney. I also like Joe Logano. I seem to be in the minority of that, but hey, I like him. I also like Jamie McMurray and Kyle Larson. Then in Formula 1, I like Valtteri Bottas, Felipe Massa, and Nico Hulkenberg. I mean, I like them. I think they're good drivers. And then in MotoGP, I do like Valentino Rossi and also Jorge Lorenzo. And those are all the series that I watch. Stephen Harris says, "Top 10 things NASCAR done that you liked. Top 10 things NASCAR done that you hated." I'm assuming that these are ideas for potential videos, and I might make these videos someday. Although I have to admit, I don't know how much I can honestly think of that could be put into the first video. Although for the second one, I think I could have plenty of material. So maybe just wait and see. Maybe I'll make it someday. Maybe even sometime soon, who knows. Charles Rassel says, "You should make a video of Jimmy Spencer fights." Jimmy Spencer has been a driver I've been considering to make a fights, arguments, and temper video about. Perhaps you might see one of him real soon. Nikki D says, "You need to make a video on Robbie Gordon fights." I actually was planning on making a video about him. However, right when I was about to start, news of his parents' murder-suicide came out, and I decided to postpone it. I may make it eventually, but I don't know when exactly. We'll see. Maybe it'll be out soon. X, the Blue Red 48X asks, "What is your opinion on all of the rule changes up to this point in NASCAR?" Personally, I think a lot of the rule changes haven't done much to improve the racing. In fact, I think it's hurt the racing, and also I think that it's played a significant part in the decline in popularity of NASCAR over the past several years. Silverlight X4 asks, "Who is your favorite F1 driver?" I like Valtteri Bottas, Felipe Massa, and Nico Hulkenberg. The Andrew Goring asks, 1. Have you played/heard of Minecraft? If you have, what is your favorite thing you like doing in Minecraft? 2. What is your favorite logo? 3. Marvel or DC? I have heard of Minecraft. In fact, on my Xbox One, it was a pack-in game with it. However, I haven't actually played it yet. I keep meaning to play it, but I guess I just keep forgetting. What is my favorite logo? Well, I think I would say the 1953 Paramount Pictures logo, especially the VistaVision variant, because I like the design and I also like the music. And between Marvel or DC, I guess I would say Marvel. Ben Williams asks, "Opinion on new race format?" There's really two things I have to say about the new race format. The first thing is about the cautions coming at the end of each segment. In my opinion, I think NASCAR is now just admitting that they put caution flags during the race for no real reason, kind of like the so-called phantom debris cautions. And my point is, I think they're just kind of admitting they're doing it because we really haven't seen too many of those this year, if any. And also in regards to my second point, I guess I have no issue with points being awarded for the top 10 at the end of each segment, but to me, I have no issue with the points, but I would drop the caution. But that's really the big point behind it, really, because that's what bunches up the cars and makes the racing closer. NASCAR Fan 2000 asks, if you don't have one already, do you wish to have a career in motorsports? No, at the moment I don't have a career in motorsports. I mean, I would like to be a racing driver, but it's unlikely, at least not professionally. Now, hey, maybe if I really come into some money down the road, maybe I could start my own team. I mean, I think it'd also be interesting to maybe be like a crew chief or chief mechanic for a team, or an engineer, or even like say being like an announcer. But generally, you have to be kind of in the industry to work on that. So yeah, I would like a career in motorsport, but I don't got one at the moment. So yeah. Per Mayonnaise asks, what defunct but not demolished track should be put back into service? Nazareth Speedway would be a good track to be put back into service, but it may be too far gone. Rockingham Speedway and also North Wilkesboro Speedway both are rarely used, but could easily be reopened, but likely won't because their seating isn't that great to begin with. I mean, like in the sense that they really didn't seat a whole lot to begin with, and they really aren't near a quote major city. Like that's why they were off the NASCAR track circuit in the first place. Grandpa Sasquatch asks, "What do you think of Brian France?" I think that a lot of the rule changes that have been implemented under his tenure have been detrimental to the series. I think that a lot of them have caused the popularity to decrease even more. It kind of reminds me of something I heard somebody say once, that the grandfather creates a successful business, his son makes it grow, and then his grandson basically destroys it. I mean, I just kind of find it funny though that like to a lot of racing people, Tony George often gets considered to be the idiot grandson. Tyler Martin asks, have you ever been to the Indy 500? If so, how many? How many IndyCar races have you been to? Who is your favorite driver in IndyCar? What is your favorite track in IndyCar? What is your favorite track in NASCAR? Who is your favorite driver in NASCAR? Now, I've answered already who my favorite IndyCar drivers are and also my favorite NASCAR drivers, so I won't answer that part of the question. In regards to the Indianapolis 500, I've been there 13 times, each year since 2004. In regards to IndyCar races in general, I've been to 19 races, the 13 500s, plus the Grand Prix of Indianapolis. Each year it's been held. Homestead in 2003, Chicagoland in 2010, and also Milwaukee in 2012. My favorite track in NASCAR, I guess I would have to say Talladega or Indianapolis. I mean, really, I think Talladega easily puts on a better race between the two, and Indianapolis, I think, is pretty boring for it as a stock car track. But I think, like, if I just had to pick the track in and of itself, I guess I would have to say Indianapolis, but for any actual entertainment, I would say Talladega. Per Mayonnaise also asked, IRL or kart? I really didn't start following racing until 2006. I know I said I went to the 500 earlier, but I can't honestly say I was just that into it. I mean, I would say I really didn't especially follow racing until 2007, really. But either way, I mean, watched IRL races. The only Champ Car race I actually saw on TV was the season finale from 2007, Mexico City. Like my dad, who was really mostly an IRL fan. I mean, he occasionally watched kart races during the 1990s, even into the early 2000s. But by the end of Champ Car, he was easily an IRL fan. But back to Mexico City 2007. I remember watching it, and just something kind of felt funny. It's like, I mean, at this point, it was pretty much thought that in 2008 there would still be two series. I mean, probably there have been talks of mergers behind the scenes, sure, but like just something kind of felt off. Like you just kind of knew that it was the end of an era almost. Another question per mayonnaise asked: do you think that Hornish is gone for good now? I think Hornish is done as a full-time driver in any real major series. I do think it's possible you might see him pop up in like say an Xfinity series race, like on a road course or a standalone event where he drives a pretty competitive car like he did for Childress or Gibbs last year. The point is, I don't see him just driving some low buck team for even say in the Cup Series, and especially not in the Xfinity Series or even the trucks, which he only has one start in there anyway. So I really don't see him ever really going there. I mean, as soon as I say that, I guess he will. The final question per mayonnaise asked is: do you prefer the old or new Dallara chassis? Personally, I like the DW12 better. I could take or leave the aero kits. I do think the aero kits add an extra bit of interest to the series, but like it or not, they're going to be gone at the end of the year, and we're back to a universal kit in 2018. Metallic Umbreon asks, what do you think about Las Vegas getting a second Cup race? I have no issue with the track getting a second race. I mean, I don't think it's the worst track on the schedule, but I also don't think it's the best either. Also, I think probably both NASCAR and SMI look at it as moving a race that isn't exactly getting a lot of local fans in the sense of New Hampshire, since I've read a lot of the people who show up there are from far out of town, like maybe even out of state. Whereas you put in Las Vegas, you're right near a major city. In fact, I mean that track is very close to Las Vegas. So yeah, I think it's probably from a crowd's perspective, it makes more sense. Viper Ghost 03 asks, what is the worst non-fatal motorsports crash you've ever watched live, not post-event? Well, I saw Mike Conway's crash at the 2010 Indianapolis 500. It wasn't in front of me, but I saw it on the video board that was right behind me as it happened. Also, I thought Kyle Larson's crash in 2013 at Daytona, I thought that was a pretty bad crash. And also Austin Dillon's crash in 2015 at Daytona. As I said earlier, I don't want to re-answer questions that I've answered earlier, but I want to also acknowledge the people who did give me questions. So, Yoshi Fan 961 asked, who is your favorite IndyCar driver? And Jordan DeGeest asked, who is your favorite NASCAR driver? Milk 382,011 asks, which 10 tracks do you think should be in the chase? I have no issue with Homestead being the finale. I mean, it's one of the few tracks that they only visit once a year, so I think it makes it more interesting to have it be the finale. Um, for the rest of the tracks, I mean, I guess I like Talladega. Of course, I said earlier I like Talladega as a track. Also, I wouldn't mind there being a road course during the chase. As for which race it would replace, honestly, it doesn't really matter that much to me, just as long as it's not Talladega or Homestead to me. Although I have to admit it might be a bit interesting for a road course to be the season finale. I mean, they did do it in the 1980s at Riverside, so it's not unheard of. Crash the Hedgehog 91 says, I have two questions. One, with SHR switching to Ford, do you think it would be a better opportunity for Ford to get more championships? Two, which track do you think should be added to the Cup schedule? I do think Ford has a better chance of getting more championships with Stewart-Haas Racing. Realistically, before this year, that is, their only team that could really challenge for the championship was Team Penske, and I think with a new four-car team, although realistically only three of their cars have a shot at winning the championship, I think that their odds are better this year. And then as to what tracks I think should be on the schedule, well, I wouldn't mind maybe seeing another road course, maybe Road America or Motorsports, since both of them are in the lower series, or even a place like Rockingham or North Wilkesboro, although, as I mentioned earlier, they were taken off the schedule because they didn't seat a whole lot of people, so it's unlikely they'll be back, which is a shame. Matt DiBenedetto fan asks, favorite number in NASCAR? I guess I would have to say number 21 for Wood Brothers Racing. Matt DiBenedetto fan also asks, favorite Rick Allen quote? Well, do I really have a choice? I guess I would have to say problems. Yeah, that's my Rick Allen impersonation, okay? Although, personally, I don't think he's that bad an announcer, okay? So, yeah. Finally, Matt DiBenedetto fan asked, do you like Tommy Joe Martins? I'll admit, I don't really follow the lower NASCAR series too closely, so I'm not very familiar with Martins. So I guess I have nothing against him, really. I would like to thank all the YouTube users who decided to ask me questions and participate in this video. It is very much appreciated.